Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel, Vibing After Dark _ with Mo. And if you're new to my channel, how about hit that subscribe button? And if you're a returning subscriber, how about sending it to a family or a friend so they can vibe out with us? And please, 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 please make sure y'all like this video. That helps out a lot, and thanks in advance. Okay, so as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, we are going to be talking about this interview that Karlissa did with Jason Lee. We're going to do a recap on that. And we're also going to be talking about the things that she discussed between each one of her kids and their girlfriends and fiance. And then we're going to be talking about how Dre&Blue responded back to it and says all cap. Okay, so let's get straight into it. As most of you all know, Karlissa went on Jason Lee's show. And if you did not know, yes, Karlissa went on the Jason Lee show. She was the last out the four to do the interview with Jason. Jason interviewed Krishan and Blueface first, which it was a sloppy mess because they both was drunk and didn't really answer the questions. And recently, since Jaden came out with Barbie, she did an interview with Jason, her, and Blueface. Then Jason again invited Krishan to tell her side of the story. Now we got Karlissa telling everything. Now, I actually liked the interview. The only thing that I can say about it that kind of made me look at it sideways, but it's with not just with Karlissa, it's with anybody. When people just talk and they just all of a sudden start crying, but then in the next 2 seconds, they ain't even crying no more. Like, and they get back to their regular voice. That just made me think it's a little fake. But other than that, I enjoyed the interview. So Jason Lee started this interview off with basically asking why Blueface don't like talking about his childhood. So the conversation led from there. So Karlissa answered at the beginning saying that she basically feel like Blueface want to show that he lived the thug life when he really hadn't. Like, he had a good life as a child, but he want the rough side to show. But then she kind of changed it and said Blueface went numb, basically, and act like a robot after Dre went to jail. That kind of changed him, and that was the last time he ever smiled. So she went down the timeline of explaining the baby daddy situation, how that all came about. So I'm going to play y'all a clip of her explaining the Dre situation and with his daddy, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to play y'all what Dre had to say.
I left because he was my neighbor and he wasn't very, well-to-do.
In LA, here?
I was 17 years old in Ohio.
In Ohio, okay.
And so I left that and I came out here to be an actress. So I left his dad there and I just brought my son with me. Like, we're just getting ready to come out here and ball out and do this, us. I met Janice's dad and, he was well-to-do and I ended up getting pregnant. But he had a situation with his baby mama already. And then I got pregnant, and then she got pregnant. Their kids are 9 months apart, so it's kind of almost identical to what Krishan is going through with Blue.
Okay, so when you were in the Valley with Andre's dad, how was raising Andre different in that environment?
Okay, so let's back up, because I got 3 baby daddies. I'm transparent all across the board. I don't sugarcoat shit.
We got nodes, we know.
Okay, so I have Andre's dad. I left because he was my neighbor and he wasn't very.
So then Andre came out and he went live, and this is what he had to say, and basically explaining like how he feel and why he do the things he do.
To be honest with you, I really just be hurt. Like I be so hurt that I lose my mind sometimes, and I say things that I say hurtful things, but it be like a nigga be so hurt. I just be like, I be having to explode somewhere because it be so much pent up for so long, to love somebody so much. And they not really give out you. It's just wow, it's a hard pill to swallow. Like coming to that realization in my 30s, they're like, damn, you really don't give up, me. You really just trying to use me to your ultimate goal is that you've been trying to be famous for years and years and years. And it's just like, even with Jonathan, you just use him to be famous. And now that you kind of feel like you got some celebritydom, whatever they said, now all of a sudden you don't, I don't want to be with the family. But when you was trying to get on, you was using the family like, that's why your show was called The Family Blues instead of Karlissa's reality show. Nobody wanted to watch that shit. You did a whole interview about your kids that had no personal accolades other than you sucked some celebrity dick.
So then Dre message said, I always love you, Karlissa, but can't let you suck the life out of me no more. Talking about somebody else and you a narcissist. I saw so many lies in your interview. I wonder if you love. Y'all, he typing screwed up again. But what he trying to say is, I wonder if Janice was taken because you suck as a mom. How the dad win a custody? It's rare, but so are you. Love you, ma. But I'm happy you done with the family. Keep it that way. Don't come back if the family get on and trying to be a gang. Stay over there. You made your bed. I hope you happy with Stir Widow ASS. All the hookers in Vegas know him. Child, he trying to say the man be in the streets. All the hookers know him in Vegas. Okay, y'all, so then Blue jumped in and Blue started tweeting. He said she didn't know who my big bro dad was. So instead of having both men take a DNA test, facing her problems so her child didn't suffer fatherlessly for her being a victim, she ran selfishly and decided he didn't need a father, and he did 12 years in prison because of it. So then she goes to tell the story of Callie daddy and what happened with that. She caught Callie daddy cheating on her with his ex-girlfriend in his house. And so Callie daddy and the girl left and she stayed for a while to get herself together, and that's what happened with Callie's dad for the moment. And so then Blueface came along and she married Blueface daddy for like 2 years. So after she got finished discussing that, they went back to why Blue act the way he act when he being asked about the family. And she was saying how, like I said earlier, Blueface never smiled after Dre went to jail, and she felt like that really played a part in Blueface's life. So this is them explaining that part.
Andre gets the manslaughter charge. He goes to prison. I'm assuming because the age difference and the fact that there is no father figure present. Does Blue look at Andre like, at the time, did he look at him like a father figure?
So he definitely felt like he lost a father and not just a brother.
When he got locked up?
Yeah, because I just remember this one time we were driving down the street. Oh, I had picked him up from visiting his dad for the weekend. And that Friday I had went to court, and I guess he thought, okay, my brother's gonna come home. They're getting ready to go to court. We had gone to court before I got him out. He had a gun before I got him out on that, brought him home. So I guess, when 6 months had went by and he's like, I picked him up and he in the back seat of the car just started kicking the shit out of the back.
And Andre gets the manslaughter charge.
Started kicking the shit out of the back seat of the car, just like going nuts to the point where I had to pull over. And when I pulled over, he was like, my dad said my brother's never coming home. And I was just like, why the fuck would he tell him that? My dad's never coming home. My brother's never coming home. And I'm just like, why the fuck would he tell him that? So I pulled the car over and I explained to him, that it was going to be a long process. And that I promised him that I was going to get him home. But I think that day he changed because he didn't smile anymore. Never smiled after that day. Blue never smiled after that day. He just became like a robot. And we all just kind of tried to deal with it. We all kind of lost our mind. We all lost our minds that year.
When Andre left the house?
Yeah. When Andre left, we lost our mind. Started kicking the shit out of
What did that look like for each of you?
We looked like zombies. We looked like we didn't know what the fuck to do. At this point, Blue had like Coogan money, like, I don't know, $60,000 or something. And I'm hustling up trying to figure out how to get the money for this lawyer. He wants $30,000 to do X, Y, and Z, and it's no guarantee. So I'm doing all this stuff to get the money up, and then out of nowhere, Blue's just like, just use my money. It's my money.
What did that look like for each of you?
So then Blueface started tweeting a lot. He said, Karlissa chooses men by their penis size and wonders why she ended up with a bum after all the cocks she had. My wife could never. Everyone go watch Karlissa interview since she wants the world to know why her kids don't respect her as adults. She won't let us leave our miserable DICK hunt childhood journey she took us on because she couldn't pick a man to thug it out with. Then here's a picture of him and his dad, and he said, my dad was great, by the way. All that S was cap. He the one had me playing football for real. So she basically was saying she raised him 80%, and Blueface daddy came in when they needed him, and he came to the games, but he wasn't there to really like throw the football and teach him how to play, but he showed up when need to be. Then Dre kept on posting on his Instagram. He said, asked her if she had to do Uber when I was over there. You'll see all the charitable stuff was cap. I went to your house to help you pay your half of the rent because you and Sterl going 50-50 and you was complaining about you was doing Uber and tired of sleeping in the car while you tried to do the same thing to Johnny's baby daddy. It didn't work out with him too long though. Talk about how you was a side chick for 10 plus years for a married man. And you never had no jobs like that. You was forcing us to be a childhood actor. You just extorted all of our acting money and we still have fake clothes and shoes. We didn't even have Christmas so you can take trips. Y'all, they exposing everything about Karlissa. They say they got time today. Dre also said, what the F well-to-do even mean? Apparently that's why I didn't have another parent in my life and I don't even know what the heck that means. So then Karlissa reshared what they posted, and then she said, if they didn't like the way I raised them, tell them to tell their daddies on me. See how that work out for them. Okay, so Jason Lee was also asking Karlissa basically like the whole time, do you even really like Jaden? Because y'all know Karlissa been going in on Jaden a lot lately. And she was like, she loved Jaden, she just don't like Jaden right now. And this is what the conversation was about when Blueface and Jaden was younger and how she felt like Jaden was never going away because the Blueface wasn't going to stop talking to her.
Said, she's not going anywhere. She's going to be here for the rest of my life. I literally had to like swallow my pride and say, well, where the bitch sleeping at?
But you couldn't be mad at that because you weren't with any man who looked at you and said that to you.
Yes, I was.
No, not until this man in the back. No man looked at you and said, I'm going to be with you for the rest of my life.
Yes, they did. I just decided to go.
Let me tell you something.
What?
Let me tell you something.
Ain't nobody never left me,
that man
Jason.
that's in the back with you ain't letting you live.
No. He ain't letting me leave.
Okay. So stop feeding me bullshit because you ain't talking to Blueface.
We gonna be on this motherfucker next.
We
gonna be on here next.
You talking to the king of the internet over here. Let me explain. So if he looked at you and said, Mom, this is the girl that I love and she's never going to live. And
at 14 years old, did I look like I cared?
But 11 years later, 12 years later, they're still together.
Right. I just didn't see her like with no ambitions as a kid. And sat me one day and said,
always hated her.
No, hell no. I raised her from, she was like 14. I taught her to cook and clean and, her mom and her mom have their own thing, but she was at my house a lot.
You taught her to cook and clean and then you call her the housekeeper.
Well, she was always over my house and not cooking and cleaning and eating up all my damn food with him. They act like they was married at 14. And because I was afraid to lose John to the streets how I was with Andre, when he looked at me one day and said, she's not going anywhere. She's going to be here for the rest of my life. I literally had to like swallow my pride and say,
always hated her.
No.
He looked at you and said, Mom, this is the girl that I love and she's never going to live. And
at 14 years old, did I look like I cared?
Now, I must say, I do like how Jason Lee stayed on Karlissa, but like when I say he was trying to hold her accountable for the things that she caused on her kids and why they may act the way they did, Karlissa was trying to say she never had a man to leave her. She just left the man. And I just want to say, Karlissa, stop. Because one of the dudes you caught cheating, you walk in on him cheating with his ex. Another one, you didn't really know who the baby daddy was in between of them. I'm not judging. But for her to say, like, oh, she left the man never left her, or no, Karlissa, just stop. Sound like they wasn't really for her anyway. So, of course, Blueface had some words to say about that. He said, that's why I have so much respect for Jaden. As much as she could have had kids around other men trying to find new D just to get over the last D, she sacrificed her desires to do what's best for our children instead of herself. Jaden is a better mother, better wife, better woman. I don't know why Karlissa keep down talking my wife for not being a cock chaser. So then Blueface goes to say, watch out the black women take up for her like she did what she could. You guys should be grateful that your mother blah blah blah, all y'all birds, if you co-sign a woman luggaging her kids around selfishly for her to find the biggest D. So then Karlissa said, your wife only with you because you Blueface. This injured tripping. Tie his shoelace. Then she said, tell your BM to get up and do something viral. Stop feeding off our talent. CMB. She also said, I give you a head start. You better not give up and start crying like your brother. I didn't raise no BS ball up and move your feet, Porter. You take it too hard in the pocket, son. Trust yourself. I'm right behind you. All I see is Carter. I will not lose. So then Blueface also posted, and he said, all them celebrities she named and ended up marrying a bum named Sterling Silver. And Dre had reposted and he said, this one. So as of right now, Callie is the only one that didn't respond, which she probably won't, because Callie is the one that don't get into the mess like that. She don't actually bring it on social media. I don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but she do not bring it on social media. But somebody in the comments said, Blue is a victim of a narcissistic mother. All the signs are there. That's exactly why he acts like that, but people don't have empathy for men who experience this kind of upbringing. Somehow he is in the wrong for establishing boundaries. There's books. Okay, so this video is already at 16 minutes. I might come out with a part 2 on tomorrow because it's still more to discuss in what they had to talk about. Not only just the Blueface and the Dre thing. It's a lot more. But so far from this video right here, y'all let me know what y'all think about it in the comment section below. They are going back and forth. And they're going to always continue to go back and forth because that makes them the money. Karlissa said that in this interview. She actually said it started off as her feelings was hurt, so she just used to say things. But now, lately, it's just been her trolling because it's bringing the money in. But like I said, you guys let me know what y'all think about it in the comment section below. I do comment back, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Bye.